Another form of writing an equation is called point-slope form. So remember the other two that we know so far are standard form, which is ax plus by equals c, and slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We're going to be using all these forms today. So in this one, when you're given any ordered pairs or two ordered pairs, it's just y minus y sub 1 equals m, again that's the slope, times quantity x minus x sub 1. So we're just going to put these in their place. So it would be y minus 5 equals, we're going to replace the m with a 5, and replace the x-coordinate would be minus negative 1, which would really make it plus 1. And you don't really need to simplify it, that's all you would need to do on this part, when it just says write it in point-slope form. Now the directions tell us to write in standard form. So again, remember standard form is ax standard form is ax plus by equals c. So we would need, and remember we can't have any fractions and all that stuff that we talked about. So y minus 5, I'm going to distribute, get 4x plus 8. I need the x and y on the left side, so I'm going to subtract 4x from each side. Remember I need the x term first, so I'm going to put negative 4x plus y minus 5 equal 8. I'm going to bring that over here. Negative 4x plus y minus 5 equal 8. Well, we have our x and y over here, but we need to get rid of the 5, so I'm going to add 5 to each side. Get negative 4x plus y equals 13. Is that standard form? No, I have one problem. Remember, I cannot have a negative where the a would be, and I do, so I need to divide everything by negative 1, which just makes the signs change, remember, so it would be positive 4x minus y equal negative 13. That would be my final answer in standard form. Number 3, remember standard form can't have fractions, so I need to get rid of the fractions. I can multiply each term by 4. So I multiply by 4 everywhere here. So I get 4y plus 20. Here the 4's cancel, and I just have a negative 5 that I'm going to need to distribute. So 4y plus 20, and I'm going to distribute that negative 5. It's going to give me negative 5x. And then remember, a negative times a negative makes it plus 10. Now it's pretty much like the last problem. We've got to add 5x to each side to get the x's on the left side. Again, I'm going to write my answer up here. I get 5x plus 4y plus 20 equal 10. I need to get my 20 to the other side, so I'm going to subtract 20, and I get 5x plus 4y equal negative 10. I don't have any fractions. A is positive. Nothing goes into 5, 4, and 10. Remember, always check that to make sure that it is in no GCF. The GCF is 1, so don't forget to check for that. So that would be standard form. Next, it's going to have us write it in slope-intercept form, so that I think will be a little easier for you. Remember, that form is y equals mx plus b. Well, the first step is going to be the same as before. We're going to distribute, so this time we're distributing a 2, so we get 2x minus 4. But remember, this time we want the y by itself, so if we look over here on the left side, we just need to subtract 6 from each side. And we're going to get y equals 2x minus 10, and that would be slope-intercept form, so we would be done. In number 5, we can have fractions in slope-intercept form, so I'm not going to get rid of the fraction. If you don't like to work with fractions, I suppose you could get rid of it, but it'll eventually appear again. Remember, if I take 1/2 times 5, it's really times 5 over 1, so that just gives me 5 halves. I would need to add 2 to each side, so get y equals 1/2 x. In a couple of ways, you could change this into 2.5 if you wanted to, the 5 halves, and then add them. What I would probably do, well, I would think of 2 as 4 over 2 and add them together to get 9 halves. So it would be 9 halves is what I add on. So you can think of it as different ways there. Whatever makes the most sense to you. But I would write my answer as in fraction form. Now we're going to see if we can use this in doing a word problem. So in this word problem it says there is a set daily fee for renting a movie truck plus a charge of 50 cents per mile. So again, this is the constant rate of change. So this would be like the slope. Costs $64 to rent the truck on a day when it is driven 48 miles. First one says write in point slope form to find the total charge y for any number of miles x. So I need to come up with my ordered pair, and it says x is the number of miles, which would be 48, and 64 is the price. So it would look like that is your ordered pair. I'm going to use that with the slope to write my formula right here, the point slope form. So y minus 64 equals 0.5 times x minus 48. Now I'm going to take that equation, I'm going to write it in slope-intercept form for number 7, so I'm just going to kind of continue here. I'm going to distribute, so y minus 64, if I distribute I get 0.5x, and then half of 48 would be 24. So again, slope-intercept form, I would need to add 64 to both sides. If I do that, I get y equals 0.5x plus 40. So that would be my answer to number 7, slope-intercept form. What is the daily fee? Well, that's the set price that doesn't change. The slope, or the constant rate of change, is 50 cents, but this would be, the y-intercept would represent that, so it would be $40.